If you are anything like my family, this time after Christmas and the beginning of January has a lot of focus on returns. So you're probably, if you shopped a lot of online this year like we did, you're probably printing these labels and shipping them and getting your returns out. I wanted to use this analogy to tell you about, so I wanted to talk to you today about returns in the context of a family law settlement. All right, if you have been to mediation or if you haven't, at some point, if you come to an agreement with your spouse or you come to a settlement agreement in your paternity case or other family law case, there might be a time when your mediator asks you if you really know what you're doing and what you have agreed to before you sign. That's because if you make an agreement in family law with regards to assets, property, and things of that nature, there really are no returns, no take backsies, right? So if you make an agreement about, I will settle for 20% of the marital home, and then you think about it and you've signed this document and it's been filed, and you think about it and you're thinking, oh my goodness, that isn't really what I wanted. I really wanted more like 50% or 70%. Well, there's technically no taking back a marital settlement agreement. There are certain factors, there are outlier cases, fraud, duress, if you're concealing an asset, that you can set aside those agreements, but that is very rare. So make sure when you're making an agreement with regards to equitable distribution, especially, that you realize that there are no takebacks on that. Now, this also applies with alimony, support, and parenting, but slightly different because alimony is modifiable typically, and child support is always modifiable based on a change of circumstances if there is one. And then the idea of a parenting plan. If you have settled on a parenting plan that gives you less time than you wanted and it has not been reduced to a final judgment, there is a way to ask a judge to set that aside based on the best interests of the child. And if there is a concern about whether or not your parenting plan meets the best interest of the child, there is a way to set that part of the agreement out and not have it part of your dissolution of marriage. So be very wary and very cautious about signing a marital settlement agreement with financial terms, because there are no takebacks on that unless very specific circumstances are present. And in the next video, I'll talk about what has to happen on a parenting plan if there are reasons to take those back.